Well, I've been running down the road trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women on my mind. 4 that wanna scold me, 2 that wanna hold me, 1 says she's a friend of mine. Take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels make you crazy. Lighten up while you still can. Don't even try to understand. Just take the time to make your plan and take it easy. Hello, folks. Silver 5150 here on Wednesday afternoon, March 25th. We're going to talk about what happened in the markets today. And we're going to start with Tiger and Dragon. Dragon and Tiger. Dragon and Dragon. And, well, this is just dragging on. All right. Enough of that. Had a little fun. Today in the markets, man, it was just one of those days where, we had a lot of money pouring in to equities and trying to keep equities afloat. But if you notice one strange dynamic with the metals markets is we had gold was down while everything else was up. Let's go ahead and flip that back over and get a look at the queen. And so, what does this mean? What this means is that they had a default at one of the big hedge funds, I think, that basically are supposed to pay in gold when they are called to the carpet. People want their money. They're supposed to pay in gold. They couldn't make delivery in gold. They defaulted today on a gold order because they could not get gold. I can't remember the name of the outfit, but it's one of the bigger investment groups that has gold as their one of their investment vehicles, and then one of the customers wanted it, couldn't get it. So that caused a huge breakdown in the market, the metals markets. And as you can see, palladium today took off. You guys remember yesterday I told you I sold my last ounce of palladium? If I had waited one more day, I could have totally made like another $400 to spend on silver, but I didn't. I sold a day early, and that's the way these markets are. These numbers that we throw around, 15,000 ounces, buying 100 ounces, if you can get 10 ounces, if you can get 20 ounces, losing $400 or not making $400 when you would have waited another day. All these things, man, are going to be part of our lexicon over the next couple of months because we're going to see the appreciation in silver start to reach ridiculous heights. I talked to you yesterday about the debt clock and how all that works. And we're not expecting it to have $210,000 an ounce silver. That's just ridiculous. That's hyperinflation. But I know in Venezuela, back when they were having the big oil situation in 2007, 2008, and oil was $140 a barrel. I know some of you guys remember that. Some of you guys don't. The bolivar was around 7 bolivars to the dollar. Okay. And at the time, I think silver was probably, $8. So if that was the case, it was like $56 silver for the Venezuelans. But if you look at the new bolivar now versus what the Venezuelans have to pay for an ounce of silver, it takes 1.4 million of those new bolivars for the Venezuelans to buy an ounce of silver because they're in hyperinflation. And that's how hyperinflation works. It diminishes your currency to the point where it takes a zillion pieces to buy the same thing, whereas before, when it was healthy, it only took a few. Anyway, so we've got here 2018 Tiger and Dragon coins from the Perth Mint. And I don't know, there's a couple of themes like this. I don't know exactly which ones these are, but just take a good look. You can see that they've gone through a lot of trouble to put detail on the Tiger, detail on the Dragon. And the Queen on the back is proof finish, over frost. So just keep that in mind. 2018, 49's fine, right? And then here, also from the Perth Mint, is an Australian dollar. And this is the Dragon and Dragon dollar, I guess, from the Perth Mint. And take a good look at that. You can look around, see if you're interested in this coin. I've only got 2 of each, and that's something that the broker kind of grabbed me to fill in the order. And I got a lot of coins like that where he just filled in the order for me. But what I want to talk to you about here real quick is the art or the act of fractional reserve lending. And if you guys haven't heard about fractional reserve lending because you're new to the financial space or new to the metal space, fractional reserve lending is something that banks do when they receive your money in by direct deposit mainly. But sometimes if you take cash there and deposit it, what they're allowed to do, and I don't know what exactly, what piece of legislation allows them to do this, but banks are allowed to do what's called fractional reserve lending, where they can take one of your dollars and leverage it 10 times. I heard as much as 100 times in some banks. They can take $1 that you deposit into their bank. They can create 10 or 100 electronic dollars from that $1. They're allowed to do that. And I guess the Federal Reserve's fine with that. And then they can take those electronic ghost dollars that they took from your dollar that you deposited and actually earned by working and lend them out at whatever rate they lend them out through their credit cards, through personal loans, through mortgages, what have you. Banks make a truckload of money. And so the reason why that's important that banks can do that is because what you need to know is the $500 billion that Steve Mnuchin, the United States Treasury Secretary, plans to use to help keep the economy stable. He's actually going to leverage 10 times. He's got $500 billion from Congress. He's going to transform that into $5 trillion, and he's going to keep the markets calm probably for about the next month. So what does that mean for us, silver stackers? What that means is that here over the next couple of weeks or 3 weeks, we're going to see the price of metals calm down. We had a lot of good action in silver so far this week, 3 days up, right? We like that. We like depreciation. Back to fair value, which is a long road, by the way. But at the same time, we understand that there has to be cooling off periods and even pullbacks. And like I said, for Friday, I'm hoping for a pullback to be able to buy some more silver. There's plenty of silver out there to be had. It's it's a silver shortage, but the only thing that's really manifesting itself is these crazy premiums, which, I've gone round and round about. They don't bother me as much because I'm just used to paying around $20 for a coin, all right, for a nice coin. And I think it's worth that much. It'd be nice if we could get them for $14, $15, but we can't. It's not that day and age. We can't do that. So I'm going to try to pick up, like I said, some of those check lines from APMEX. They got them for around $22. The 2018s, if you try to get 2019s, those are going to be, I think, $24, $25. And also, if you notice, the Libertides are really taking off. I don't know what's going on, especially with the 2019. I think because 2019 is a seminal year. It's like the year that Corona started or something. And so, like, maybe it's going to be a year that marks everything, 2019. Year zero, as they call it. And the 2019 coins, like this Australian dollar, are going to fetch more because of their historical value based on the events that are going on now. Who knows? In any case, I am going to continue to watch the markets, continue to look for a pullback to buy some silver. I'm going to buy some regardless on Friday, but I'm also going to start positioning to have a little extra cash at home, if you're able to do that. And then I'm also going to position myself to have my electronic transfer system in my bank set up to cover my bills as my deposits come in, and the bank fractionally reserve lends 10 times the amount that I have coming in because I work for the government. And then those bills that are done through electronic transfer to the debtees that I owe, then they can get their money. And that way I don't have to worry about, because it's all automatic payment. I don't have to worry about, my bills getting satisfied. And that's the way I take care of that. That way I don't have to think as much. But I do plan on paying my debts. I don't care what happens with this credit system until they tell me you don't have to pay, or you have to default, or you can default, or what have you. I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to take care of the responsibilities that I created, and I'm going to make sure I do the right thing. Okay, man. We're going to go ahead and head out for the night. But gosh, look at these. Look at the whiskers on that dragon and the face on it. You can see the teeth in there. You can see the beard on it. Just really good detail. And then on the tiger, you can see how they actually tried to etch hairs into the pattern of its fur. I love well-crafted coins. Perth Mint always makes some really well-crafted coins. Look at that crown there. Yeah, I know. A lot of people are not a fan of the queen, but I am not necessarily a fan, but I am a fan of these coins. Oh, my goodness. They're so nice. So, all right, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Let's see what happens in the morning. But I can tell you this. Based on the bills that they passed and the money they have now in the Treasury, and the President's Working Group on Capital Markets, which is an outfit of the Treasury that can rig markets however they need to. There goes the dog again. The market is going to be pretty calm over the next few days. You're not going to get a lot of action in metals, maybe some downward pressure. And then we're also going to get some upward momentum in equities. So let's go ahead and watch out for that tomorrow. I will give you guys a morning update. Probably won't be much to it because it's going to be pretty boring. I'm going to go take care of that dog, and I'll see you later.